Hello. My mother will be here shortly, hopefully. We'll see. We are getting started. Ooh, my background is not working out quite as well as it usually does today. What is going on? There's a weird what is over here that's causing issues? Because over here it's working. Oh. Over here, yeah, it's okay. Maybe I just need to be closer to the screen. I don't know. Oh, we are getting in here. Some of us overslept. Some of us are my mother. Ooh, but she did put in the crossword. Let me see if I can get in there. Oh my goodness. Sorry, Instagram was open and one of my favorite content creators went to Edinburgh. They were holding owls. Let's see. And so maybe we'll have a chance of completing the crossword today because I don't think we have Ronald. I think they're still on vacation, if I'm not mistaken. Aren't they going to be gone for like a month? I don't know. Let's see. Why is my hovercats being weird and making me choose a new thing? Okay. Sure. I'll join as a guest because I have no clue why it's making me do that. Let's see. Oh, why am I looking up there for the clues? Let's see. Creme caramel by another name. Oh, I feel like I know that one, but the only word that's coming to my brain is nougat. Yoga pose. That's so specific. Political competition. Race. Political race. Isn't that a nope? Yes, it is. Okay, sweet. Capital with an Arc de Triomphe. Is it Paris? Isn't sweet. Night before the holidays. Nights before the holidays. Eve, but that's 3 letters. Let's keep moving. Project details for short. Direction of the sunrise. The sun rises in the east. Hey, maybe I'll get this one myself. I am Ronald today. Big beer holder Stein. How do you spell that? No, that's not going to fit. Big beer holder. A mug? Bottle? Keg? That's 3 letters. We're going to move on. Collector of random stuff at home. That is... Okay. We're going to keep moving. Signs of things to come. Omen? I am knocking it out of the park today. Actor Hirsch of Into the Wild. I'm never going to get that. Blank cabbage. Veggie originally from China, not California. I don't know. Let's see. Cook's protective garment. Apron. Let's see. Desktop from Apple. The desktop from Apple would be the Mac, wouldn't it? But that's not 4 letters. Hello, mother.
Hello, daughter.
I am... Oh, it's iMac, not just Mac, it's iMac. Let's see. Hope for RSVPs from A-list guests. I got nothing. All right, are we ready to get this show on the road?
No, we are not.
Okay, take your time. I'm just pretending to be Ronald, filling out this whole crossword. Because for some reason, I know these answers.
Well, I think I picked an easy level puzzle this time.
3 down, the clue is just give a darn. Tchotchke, ooh. Nick. Mac. Did I spell it right? No, I didn't. Nick. Mac. There we go. Now I spelled it right. Asana. Okay. How did you figure that out? All it said was yoga pose. There's like a bunch of different yoga poses.
But yoga poses in general are called asanas.
Oh, I don't do enough yoga to know that.
A brief yoga phase in my teens.
Is that? Hey, there we go. Trader Joe's offering that might come in a tiny cup. 3 sample? Why does it have to be Trader Joe's?
Why does everything have to be Trader Joe's? Every time I go on something, it's like they're talking about cool stuff at Trader Joe's, but not all of us are at Trader Joe's. How about cool stuff at Food Lion?
Cool okay, stuff you went
cool stuff at Milo.
Opposite direction. You could take a pit stop at like Walmart or Target, you went Trader Joe's straight to Food Lion?
Yes, because that's where poor folk like me shop. Food Lion.
Or like Walmart.
But Trader Joe's is primarily food, so I was thinking of another place that's primarily food.
Aldi?
Well, no, because there's articles all the time about cool stuff at Aldi. So that one doesn't.
Oh, okay. Adjective that describes fish and chips. Good? Delicious? I have no idea what that one is. A case of you, singer-songwriter Mitchell. Based on the rest of these letters, Joni Mitchell? A flavor found in mushrooms and roasted tomatoes. Umami! Thank you. I'm not going to get that one. Sends from one bank account to another. Wires. A wed on the run. Elope. Junk drawer. That's what that was. I was trying to figure out 18 across, and I looked at it and I was like, this is too many letters for this early. Leases, rents. No, you got that word before me, and now there's going to be less points for that. Kathmandu's land. Nepal? Hey. And
I was almost
like
gonna type that in, but since you were saying it, I'll let you have it.
And just like that, I am victorious.
You are victorious.
Why does it still say I'm Solar Minx? I definitely put my name in. It made me re-log in. I have no idea why. So I just played as a guest today.
Weird.
Yeah.
Weird.
Okay. Well, we should probably get started and do actual things.
We should. I'm just going to throw another puzzle up there just in case. This one's going to be a hard one, though.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now this one says February 20th. I wonder if that's February 20th of this year. I wonder if they've actually started adding some.
I don't know. Put it in and maybe we'll look at some of the clues and see how recent the clues feel.
I've noticed some activity. Okay, it says Monday, February 20th. Was February 20th of this year on a Monday?
Ooh, let's see. Doing some investigative researching. Oh my goodness, I have room service.
It's really hot.
Thank you. Oh, it is really hot. Thank you.
Of course, there's short night Genesis pages.
Alright, room service and a vulture. Let's see.
A vulture.
February 20th was on a Tuesday this year.
So that means that was a puzzle from last year. Okay. Bummer.
Yeah. But you said you were seeing some activity on their Discord or whatever?
Yeah, in their Discord, one of the admins put some sort of cryptic message about, we're still here, hang in there.
Maybe they saw that we use this literally every single week, and they're like, "Oh, someone's still playing this." We are single-handedly keeping Hovercat's crossword alive.
Okay, so for those watching,
you already put it in the thing, so it'll be the same link.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to say it out loud, but I guess we can say it when you get your Instagram people in here.
All right. Oh, let me copy that then so that I can... No, I don't want to ban this user. Is there a copy paste? Nope, I'll just have to type it. Okay, let me get my Instagram. Ma'am, I don't need your dog breath all over my mini pancakes.
That is kind of rude.
She's just over here breathing all over everything. Okay. We got coffee Klatsch. What number is this?
62.
62. Wild.
Beyond wild.
Oh, I definitely fully said that we were gonna try to stream the TikTok that night. Was I just thinking that, or did I say that to you? It's too late now.
To TikTok today?
Yeah, I think I was thinking that previously, but didn't follow the thought through. So we're just gonna stream the Instagram again until, because I have not logged all of my TikTok stuff in. So we will. It's gonna have to wait. Okay. So put it in. I'm waiting for the preview to show up, and I'm copying the stream key. Because the preview is not going to show up without the stream key. Paste. Save changes. Stream key has been pasted. Instagram. Okay, there's our preview. All right. Oh. In the preview on Instagram, it looks like I'm looking like very far away from you because I'm looking up at the TV, but we're like, it's flipped. Oh no, that's weird. Can I switch our places? Let's do this. Can I? There we go. Now at least in the stream, it'll look like I'm looking at you. Because I am looking at you, but you're on my TV. Okay. I'll do a 3, 2, 1. We'll go live, and then we'll talk to the people. I feel like we haven't done this in 45 years, and so I don't remember what I'm doing, and I'm tired.
You're not the only one, babe.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Wednesday's Coffee Klatsch. Welcome to everyone watching us on YouTube as well as Instagram. If this is your first time joining us, I am Dani, and today I am the lethargic lass. And with me is
Artemis, her child, her spawn, her, oh no, my dog is moving my laptop. Her chaos gremlin.
I just saw you scoot. I'm like, what kind of magic special effects is this?
Yeah, because both of my hands are in the air and it's just like moving.
And you are again?
Artemis. Her son.
And with the special guest, the howling hound. The hecking hound.
Right,
if this is your first time here, we are everything and nothing. We are the ambiance, audio ambiance for your morning or your afternoon if you're watching this on demand later. We are your background sound. We are here to keep you company as you mow the lawn, fold the laundry, do the dishes, do your meal prep for the week, fight to take over your fashion house from your ex-husband who doesn't realize that you're a billionaire.
We gotta talk about these bugs.
We're here to help you with all of those things, to just keep you company while you get it done. While you're doing all that girl bossing. Or boy bossing. Or unidentified bossing.
Them bossing?
Them bossing. They bossing.
I don't know what sounds better.
We're here.
All right. So let's start with
and
crafty.
we start with crafty stuff up top because that's where most of Artemis's subscribers come from.
And that's where most of your subscribers come from too.
We get that out of the way. So if you need to leave and can't hang with us for the 2 hours that we're usually here, at least you got a little something up top. So let's get in with crafty stuff. And you are going to start with crafty stuff first because you have more stuff I have nothing. So
See, you say I have more stuff. I don't have more stuff in the room with me. I have 2 items. All of 2 items.
well, that's not good. You're
Um,
supposed to have more so that I can eat my breakfast.
Well,
Before we do our items, what are you having for breakfast? You're having mini pancakes?
yes, I have mini pancakes with a ramekin of syrup and strawberry kiwi. What is this? Nature's nectar.
Well, I am having tea in my cup that improves my self-esteem,
Nice.
and that iced tea that your sister made because I didn't wake up in time to make coffee. I am having goldfish crackers, the pretzel kind.
Goldfish pretzels. Those pretzels were
And
good.
they are tasty. And to be followed up by some peach
Yummy.
yogurt. Hopefully that will hold me over so that my tummy doesn't start hurting while we are doing this stream. Okay, now to the crafty thoughts.
I have 2 items because after the chaos of trying to get ready for the previous markets, which we will talk about shortly, but I was doing so much work to try to catch up and have a good big display for the previous markets. I messed up my whole arm. Like my arm was hurting for literally a full week, from wrist to shoulder. It anytime that I did this or did this, it's still a little sore if I do this or do any kind of full extension or anything. My elbow would hurt a lot. My shoulder would hurt some. My wrist would hurt some when I was trying to do anything. So my whole arm was really messed up. Yes. And so after my market on Saturday, which was my last big market for a little while, I decided to take a 2-day break. So that 2-day break turned out to be a 1-day break because I do enjoy crocheting. It is one of the things that I enjoy doing. So I took a 1-day break on Sunday. And so I didn't bring my crochet with me to work. And then I got home and I immediately went to pick up my crochet to have something to do, and then remembered, oh crap, I'm not supposed to be doing this. So I stopped and I think I just watched videos and maybe played a little Dreamlight Valley or something. And then Monday I took
time to get that coloring book out.
True, I fully forgot. My markers are literally sitting right here, and I fully forgot that was an option of something to do because I was just I wanted to crochet. I don't know. I'm working on a project that I actually want to do. But I took a break for a day and a half and have been doing more chill crocheting. And I found that the reason that my arm, shoulder, elbow has been hurting so much, because you and I and the God know that I've been crocheting for a long time. And I have been doing a lot of crocheting for a long time and have not had any issues like that before. And so I'm is it just me getting elderly? No, I am a font of youth and will always be. The issue is I have not been doing those amigurumis for a very long time. I've only been doing those more recently. And doing the amigurumis with the blanket yarn, there's so much extra tension with the blanket yarn that I have to pull and maneuver, even when it doesn't feel like a lot immediately. Doing it over and over and doing it very quickly, trying to catch up for a market, it tore up my arm. And so I have not touched blanket yarn in 3 days, 4 days. I've just been working with some worsted weight in a DK that I have, and it's improved a lot. I feel a good bit better. I'm probably gonna wait maybe the rest of the week to pick up blanket yarn again. So we will see.
That's one of the hazards of having needlework as your hobby, is that you do get that repetitive stress. I mean, the ways that I've found to help relieve it is I have to take regular breaks. So I can't, unlike you, I am getting elderly. So I can't go hours and hours at a time You know, I may go an hour or two, and then it's like, or even me going an hour or two, it's like I'll do a couple rows, and then I'll sit down in my lap and stop for like 10 or 15 minutes, and then do 4 more rows, and then sit it down in my lap. I can't just do the constant because it will get
in the best of conditions, I would go like 4 or 5 hours straight.
See, no. And I've done that in the past and then had to take like months off because I just could not, my arm could not take it. But also that's why I end up switching between knitting and crocheting. Although I must admit, crochet is really my baby right now, where knitting used to be the one and crochet was just like, you know, if I wanted to make a hat or a blanket, but not really. But now crochet is more of my thing. I don't know why. I don't know if it's just because the projects that are out now, because crochet has become more trendy and more of a thing. The designers who do stuff that does not look just clunky and chunky. I mean, the clunky and chunky stuff, the clunky and chunky stuff is still out there, but there's also a lot more stuff that looks more sophisticated without trying to make it look like, because the way they used to try to make it look sophisticated was just try to make it look like it was imitation knitting. But now there's stuff that looks like crochet but doesn't look just chunky and homemade in a bad way. So, but yeah, I'd switch between knitting and crochet and the coloring. And it seems like even though all of it uses my right hand, it's like
it's different motions.
It's different motions. And with knitting, I get to use my left hand a bit more because I switched the way I knit. So the way I used to knit was all right hand. And now but I switched the way I knit so that I involve my left hand more. So that helps.
So while you're eating your snack,
have to show us.
I have one small project, one larger project. So I'm gonna start with the smaller project. I did another little tapestry crochet. I've got some wooden dowels that I'm gonna hang this up on. But I did just a cute little.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, I just wanted to do a little something because I've got those wooden dowels over there that I was using for something else, and I was like, oh, I could use these just to hang some little crochet tapestries. And I found, so I started with this one, but the ones I really want to make, I just have to figure out how I'm going to store them and how I'm going to display them, are ones with bad words on them, because it's always so funny. It's never not funny to have bad words on things. There's a bag that they're selling at work. They got the summer stuff in at work. And one of the bags that they have, it's got a picture of a flamingo. It's like a summer beach bag, like tote bag. It's got a picture of a flamingo on it, and it says "No flocks given." And I'm like, I watched a mother like, "Oh, this is such a cute bag," and then the daughter's like, "What? I don't." And then she's like, oh, and the mother's like, "Shh." It was so funny, but yeah. So I made this cute little guy. I'm gonna hang it up. I think I need to trim down one of my dowels. My dowels are like this big, and so I think I need to trim it down. And then maybe I can put the bottom half on the bottom there, because it is curling something fierce. And the back looks okay. I carried the yarn over, which you can't see super bad through here. You can't see too terribly bad through here, so it doesn't look super bad on the back. But there are some bigger ones that I want to do, and those I'm probably just going to carry the yarn, or like float the yarn behind across, because carrying that yarn over was kind of a pain in my butt a little bit. And then, so remember, did I show you the Lion Brand Scoops yarn?
Yes.
Okay, so this is my DK yarn. So I used that yarn. I used most of a skein. Or I used half of a skein rather. So this was one whole skein. Like there were two this size. And so one of them is down to here. And I started to weave in my ends. God, let me make sure I don't get any syrup on this. I made a top. Oh, I gotta turn my background off.
Yes, you gotta turn your background off.
I forget every time. No background. I made a top.
That is cute. That
Isn't
is
it?
Yeah,
And the
I
pattern
like the contrast of the the mesh up top and then the solid across the middle. It's cute.
Yeah, the pattern that I use, I'm gonna pull it up. Not the pattern, but the she gives a lookbook, and so I'm gonna pull that up. This is the first time that I have seen when you download a pattern that she provides a lookbook with the pattern as well of her pattern testers. So that's really cool. But it is called the Marina Mesh Sweater. Let me present, share screen. I want to share this screen in particular. I don't need audio. Share. Add to stage. There we go. So it's the lookbook for the sweater. I want to get cute tags like that. That's so cute.
Cute.
But the cool thing about this pattern is that she makes it very versatile. So she says like, oh, if you want to add another mesh part, this is where you go. If you want to add, if you want to just finish it off, this is where you go.
Oh.
If you want to do this is where you go. Yeah. So you can do a bunch of different things. I love those sleeves. And so I want to make one that looks kind of like this with just the top and the sleeves. But I think I want to try to make them bell sleeves. So we'll see how that works out, because that will be me freestyling around. But she made like a tank top, which is really cute.
Cute.
Yeah, I added sleeves on mine. I love this one too. This is very cute.
That looks like something for vacation.
Right? I was going to try to make another one, I think, to wear on vacation. But I love the look of the stripes down the sleeves.
Because for the family picture, I could make something like that in black to wear over the white dress, and that will fit your father's black and white prescriptive for the picture. I don't know why.
This one is cute, but I don't want to spend a long look in the sleeves.
I don't know why I get so annoyed when he tells us what we have to wear for the family picture. It's like,
because it's always something that no one really has in their wardrobe, and we have to figure out a new outfit. The only thing that I kept in my wardrobe was the all black. I like this one with the color changing. So I want to try to make one like this as well. But I won't be able to use this. I won't be able to use this DK yarn, because this is like the only DK yarn that I have. I like the one that was up that had that she did in the multicolor yarn. I like that. I did like that one as well. And then this is cute. And you see how
all the berries wear with the bells, yeah.
Yeah, so I want to do something similar to this. I might do the stripes. If it doesn't.
See, I only ever see these things like on TikTok when somebody is crocheting them. I have not seen them out in the world that somebody's wearing them. And so to me, this is almost like a shawl in that people love making them, but who's wearing them?
People are wearing them, because I've seen people wear them when they're not like crocheted, but when there is just like a t-shirt that they like cut off. So I've seen people wear them, just not like IRL. I've only seen them on like TikTok and YouTube stuff. So I don't know if people in my area are wearing them, but I'm gonna make them. And then this one is just fully mesh.
Cute,
but it's got a lot of like versatility.
Different variation. This is similar to like when I go on Ravelry and I'm like, let me see if someone has made this in brown, or let me see if someone has made, you know what I'm saying? They have the pattern, and then you can go look at all the projects that people have posted from that pattern, because I am not good at picking my own colors. That's the one I like. I'm not good at picking my own colors for things. So it helps me when I see like that crochet, that what was that blanket that is still sitting, by the way. I haven't picked it up because I'm supposed to be working on the one for your
The bobble blanket?
No, not the bobble one, but the one that I told you was making me really happy that looked really complicated. The circle one, the one that's called like Mo, Mo something. It's called like Mo Baby or Mo something, because I think the guy who designed it is Mo or something. All of his stuff says Mo in it. But yeah, that one, when I picked that one, I liked it, and I was like, but let me see if someone has made it in this yarn. And so then I went on Ravelry and found somebody who made it not only in that yarn, but in the same colorway that I had. So then I could see what it might look like. And then that gave me an idea of, okay, I can do this. All the other crochet girlies, especially these modern ones on TikTok, these modern 18-year-olds, they're just like, okay, this is what I want, and this is the yarn I'm going to use, so this is what I'm going to make. That it's like, I guess they can visualize it in their head or something.
Or they have a lot of time, and so they'll put stuff in, and they're like, oh, this color doesn't look super good, and just rip it back out. Because that's what I see a lot, is I'll see them, like, they'll like start the project, and they'll be working on like a floor-length skirt or something, and they'll like get a third of the way through, and they're like, oh, actually, I don't like this yellow, and just like pull it out, and then add a new color in, and I'm like, I don't have time for that. I don't have time for ripping out entire rows.
I'm not saying I've never done that, but what happens is I'll put something together, and I'll put some colors together, and then I'll realize I don't like it, and then I stop, and the pattern goes in a box, and you never
to be seen again
until I need that yarn for something else, and then I rip it back out and put it in a different project. And so then that project just never gets completed because I chose the wrong colors.
Yeah, I'll go through the Ravelry like projects or whatever made, but I don't go to see the colors because I usually know what color I want to do something. Like, I'll like try to visualize it, and worst case scenario, if it looks ugly, then it looks ugly, and it's going on my table, and somebody will either buy it or they don't, and then it'll just be filler. But I like to go through the projects on Ravelry to see how well, that's kind of how I judge how well a pattern is written a lot of times. Because if someone is obviously, if they're posting a pattern, they're going to post the best pictures that they have of the pattern, posed exactly the way that they want it to. And so I'm like, let me see, because yours looks gorgeous, but if 75 other people make it and it looks wonky, no ma'am.
Yeah, that's the other thing that I look at, because you're right. When someone is designing the pattern and they put up the most beautiful picture where they blocked it and everything, as you've said more than once, we don't block in this house.
Oh, I was about to go pull it up.
So, where they put in, where they have done all the blocking and everything, and so it's perfect lighting and all this other kind of stuff. We don't swatch in this house. We don't block in this house.
You're laughing. I had all the rules right here. We might as well show them all. There are a lot of things that we don't do, and so I want to see the project done by people who follow my house rules.
Exactly. But also if it's a wearable, I also kind of want to see it on somebody who's closer to my size.
Yes, that too, yes.
Because sometimes I'll see something and it looks really cute and it's hanging all flowy and stuff like that, and then you get somebody who's been blessed in the décolletage area.
Décolletage.
And it's just, a big tight t-shirt. It's not a big loose flowy thing. It's like, okay, yeah, no, that's not what I wanted. Or maybe it is what I wanted. Maybe I like the way it looks. Maybe it looks just fine. But I like to see it on other body types to see which you can't, which you can do on Ravelry, you can't do when you're buying stuff from Walmart or Amazon, and they only have the right shape of plus size, what they deem as the perfect shape of plus size, not my
where
shape.
They're like plus size, but they have no tummy. Like their tummy doesn't exist, and then it's all like curvy butt and curvy chest, but they're like super thin in the middle, and there's no arm fat. There's no like nothing.
No fupa.
That's a thing that that's another, like, if we've got the scorecard up of Ravelry versus Ribbler, that's a thing that I really like about Ravelry that Ribbler doesn't have yet, I feel, because Ravelry has been around for millennia, it feels like. And so thank you to all of the crafters who have come before us, who have tested out these patterns for me so I can see the pictures. On Ribbler, it's a like 1 in every 20 I'll see like pattern, like I'll see projects, because they have a space for you to put the pictures of the projects. It's all at the bottom of the page, but like I want to say 1 in every like 20 projects that I look at will have pictures.
Because I think the base of Ribbler skews younger than Ravelry. And because like when I've been trying to get you and Sydney both to put pictures of your stuff up on Ravelry, and you never do.
I don't feel like it.
You never do. I put pictures of my stuff, and not necessarily, I mean, if somebody else gets something out of my pictures, that's nice. But honestly, I put them up. Same reason that I use Goodreads. I put that stuff up there for me to remember. Because if I do a physical book, you know, some people are like, well, I'd rather just keep myself in a physical log or whatever, but then I'll just lose that. And there's no telling, there may come a time when, you know, Ravelry disappears.
You stop right now.
And all my pictures I got up there are gone.
You stop right now. If Ravelry disappeared, I would lose my mind.
But the only plus side with Ravelry, even if Ravelry does disappear, they never implemented a function where you just upload your pictures directly to them. Your pictures have always come from, well, I mean, I guess it's uploaded on their servers now that I think about it, but your pictures always have to come from somewhere else.
So like Google
they have to come from Google Photos or from Instagram, or from, they don't have a function of you just straight from your hard drive. So even if they do disappear, the pictures that I put up there are somewhere.
Still somewhere, yeah.
On my Instagram. You
gotta hunt them down.
Or I'd have to hunt them down, but they're still there somewhere.
Also, I want to pause for just a second. We had some people saying hi in the Instagram chat. I had my screen turned away from when I was looking at that pattern. So, hello. Sorry I missed you.
Hello, Instagram folks. Nice to see ya. If you're bored, if you want something to do while you're listening to us and you're not doing laundry, the link for the crossword. Oh, they can't see the link for the crossword.
I'm typing it in right now.
We do have a crossword that goes in the background and right now, as you can see, we've not filled it up very much right now.
Because we have been talking. GG/sheeple. Okay.
Sheeple. I didn't think of that, but yes, sheeple.
That's what I think every time I read that is hovercast.gg/sheeple.
So, while we're still on crafty thoughts, do you want to do your market and other stuff before I show my few pitiful crafty things?
I can, while you're getting your stuff pulled up, sure. Okay, let me pull up my calendar.
I have absolutely nothing to pull up because I have very little to show.
Okay. Yeah, what happened this past week? Okay, yeah. So, think back, people. I want you to just take a moment, think back to not 3 days ago, but 10 days ago, this past Sunday. Sunday the 7th.
Because we weren't here last week.
Because we were not here last week. And I will explain that as well. But we must go to the beginning of the story. Back to the 7th of April. I loaded up my car and took myself on a cheeky little drive out to Charlotte, North Carolina, to go vend at the market. And who went with me, you might think? Actually, I was driving alone. I drove alone to get out to Charlotte, North Carolina. But Artemis, you usually have someone vending with you at these larger markets. And who did vend with me at this market? My mother and my sister. They came and vended. It was so fun. I want to say, a single picture of us there because, do I even have that picture? I think the one picture that I took of the three of us, you have that picture because you were sending it to my father.
Why would I have that picture? Don't make me get up and get my phone.
You can work on showing that if you want. If not, it's okay. I have pictures of my market set up though that I can pull up. Photos.google.com. But we went, it was so there's a event group that will set up events at different locations. And so we just went to one of their events at the Devil's Logic Brewery in Charlotte, North Carolina. We went, the whole theme was infernal, because the place is called Devil's Logic, so the whole theme was infernal, devilish, witchy kind of vibe. So we went, I brought basically everything that I have, and I made some extra stuff for that market. I made some witch hats, some devil horns, I made some special amigurumi and everything. Let's see, stop sharing this screen. No, not that, remove, and stop screen, there we go. I have a picture of my setup. Photos, there we go, I don't need audio. And wha-bam. So there's the picture of my setup from that day. I've got, you see hanging off the front edge, bandanas. Up on the red box there is one of the witch hats and the eyeball dice bags. To the left are more witch hats, crowns, and devil horns, and flower headbands. And then to the very far left is my coat rack that had the vests that I made, some bags left over, some belts, and a scarf. And then to the right are all of my amigurumis, and I made that poison apple and that snake specifically for this market.
Keep talking. I'll be right back. Keep talking.
Okay. It was a market. I was hoping that it would be a bit more popular. I'm not sure if it's because it was a little chilly that day. We were under an overhang. So out in the sun, it was a fairly comfortable temperature, but where we were shaded, which made it a little bit chillier. And then also, I think just the shape of the little overhang, because we were out on their porch, the shape of their little porch caused a bunch of wind to blow through. It wasn't really, really bad wind. I will get to that later. It was a really, really bad wind, but it was enough wind that was blowing on us that we were kind of chilly. And so I gave my mother my car blanket. And then we also had an airplane blanket that was rolling around in my bag. And I think I may have had a third blanket even. It was a little chilly that day. But it was a market. I made enough money to, like I said, I don't know if people didn't come out because it was chilly or what, but I made enough money to cover the gas to get down there. And I made enough money to cover the fee that I paid to be there. But that is about it. I didn't make much more than that, unfortunately. But it's okay. It was definitely not the worst event that I've ever had, because I actually made some sales. And I actually had, there was a guy who bought, let's see, it's already been sold in this picture, but I had a pig amigurumi, and he was talking about how the area that he's from, pigs are super popular, pig pictures and animals and stuffed animals and stuff are popular because they do a lot of barbecue. Do you remember where he said he was from?
Lexington.
Lexington, yes. And so like barbecue and everything's super popular. And so like pigs and stuff are super popular. So he actually contacted me a couple days ago. And he wants to buy a couple more. Yeah, he wants to buy a couple more pigs. So I have to figure out how to ship those.
That was some networking going on. That's
exactly.
Good.
That's why I don't feel super bad about markets like this anymore. Because there was a time where if I had a market that went like this, I would have cried in my car. But it was all right. I got to hang out with my family. They got to see my whole vending and everything. I did a couple face paints. Like there were a couple kids running around that I did face paint for, because there was a like Mario Kart tournament or something going on their like upstairs deck.
Yeah, there was two different school things where they were raising money for school supplies and stuff. There was a car wash around the corner, and there was a Mario Kart tournament up in the upper room of the bar. Okay, and let me tell you about this car wash. The car wash people were very nice, but I was going to move my car because we were originally parked in the parking deck, and then the person putting on the event was like, "Oh, you can park behind the building," and I was like, "Okay, sweet," because I don't want to end up getting a ticket parking in this parking deck forever, because they didn't give out any like parking tags or anything. And so me and my sister Chloe, hello Chloe, went to move the car. And we got around to where the back of the building should be, which we had already passed twice because I was trying to figure out where the parking for this place was. Because I don't like driving in big cities and I don't like parking in big cities. But we got up to the car wash, or I was walking back to the car, and I asked one of the girls who was standing on the corner who was trying to like wrangle people into the car wash. I was like, "Hey, sorry to bother you. I was just told by the people doing my event that we could park behind the brewery. Is there space behind there, or do you know if you guys are blocking it?" And she's like, "No, I think there's space to get in." I'm like, "Okay, sweet." But she was like a kid, so I was like, "I'm taking this with a grain of salt. I'll figure it out when I find an adult." And so I took my car and I went up to where the car wash was, and I parked behind the car wash. So like as if I was getting in line for the car wash. And then I hopped out of the car. So Chloe's sitting in the car. I hopped out of the car and just walked up to the most authoritative looking person there. He was like waving the cars along and everything. And I was like, "Hey, I'm so sorry to bother you. I'm vending at the Devil's Logic on the other side over there, and they said that we could park behind the brewery. Do you know where the little like turnoff for that is? Because I can't quite tell." And he's like, "Oh yeah, it's right over here." And I was like, "Okay, is there a way that I could get in there?" And he's like, "Yeah, totally. You can definitely get in there. We just we'll have to like it'll be just a second so I can move the cars, but you can get in there." And I was like, "Okay." So when you said, because he also was like, I think at some point he also was like, "Oh yeah, we're not blocking it." And I'm like, "So when you said you're not blocking it, you meant you're definitely blocking it, but you can move some cars." So I literally sat in the line. I sat in the line as if I was going to the car wash and waited. And then he moved. I had to wait for him to rinse off 2 full cars. And he rinsed. That's why it took so long for me to get back to you, by the way. Because my mother was sitting at my table the whole time. But so I had to wait for him to rinse 2 full cars. And then he like waved me around. So I had to, there were 3 cars there. 2 cars rinsed and moved. The 3rd car was like parked and they told them not to move. And I had to go around this 3rd car. There we were, all dressed up, looking cute. So nice. Them with my blankets because it was cold. But so I had to go around the 3rd car to get in, and like the kids had to like part out of the way, and there was like an old lady who was like very close to the edge of where I needed to drive. It looked like she was not moving anywhere, and I was like, "Okay, so we are definitely blocking the pathway, but sure, whatever." Okay, all right. So I got in there, and it was a decent market. I did some, you can see the girl behind her is wearing the devil horns. She bought those devil horns from my table. And I got a picture of her setup as well, because I got some cute earrings from her. I bought a few things that honestly are all the way in the back of my room. So I will share them at the next market. But it was decent. And then we went to leave, and I loaded up everything in my car. And everything was super fine. I was like, "Okay, let's get out of here. We're going to go get cookout." We figured out where we're going to go get lunch.
And then I bump into someone's car pulling out of the parking lot. I was so frustrated because I was like, I really just want to go. Like, the market is over. I've packed everything up, which is not an easy task most of the time. And I just want to leave. And I bumped into their car. And it turned out it was the car that belonged to the people that were putting on the event. And I was like, I'm so sorry, blah, blah. And it was my spare tire on the back of my car bumped their bumper and put like, honestly, a sizable dent. It was like this big. But he came and he's like, oh, that's just a dent in the plastic. We can probably pop that out. And so he like hopped down on the ground and like laid on the ground and like forced out most of the dent, just like with his hands. He was able to force it out. There was one like little bit of a dent left that he couldn't pop out because it was like in a place he couldn't quite reach with his hands. So he needed to get like some sort of tool, like the back of a wrench or something, to like pop it out. But he's like, no, yeah, it's just the plastic. It's just like, I'll be able to pop it out whenever I get home. You are absolutely fine. I'm like, I'm so sorry. And he's like, you are good. And he, but he was saying before I hit their car, he was asking if I did like birthday parties and stuff. And I was like, yeah, I do birthday parties, but I live in Asheville. So if I do something out here, then you'd have to pay like gas and everything. And he's like, sure. And I told him my prices and he's like, oh, that's very reasonable. And I'm like, sweet. And so after I hit his car, I was like, if you want me out for his birthday party, I won't charge you gas. I'm so sorry. And then I scooted out of there because I didn't want to be there anymore. It was a disaster.
Yeah, you felt a little shaky when you were done, but it hopefully, there's no repercussions after that. He said everything's okay, so let's hope that's true.
Yeah, they have not like contacted me anywhere or anything like that, so I'm taking them on the word that it is okay. Because he got most of the dent back out, like right there. But
good.
Yeah, so that was that market, and then let's see. Let me get my calendar back up. So Sunday was the Infernal Artistry Market. And then last Wednesday, so the reason we did not stream last Wednesday is because I got invited back to ETSU to go vend over there. Or not to vend, but to do like, they hired me.
For those who haven't been with us before, ETSU is East Tennessee State University?
Yes. Yes.
I wasn't sure if I got the acronym right.
Yeah, Eastern Tennessee, ETSU. Yeah, State University, yes. But they have once or twice a year a like cultural unity festival. And previously they had another henna artist, but that henna artist is no longer available for these events anymore. And so they found me. And so I have been doing that event with them. And it's a very like nice event, very well paying event. It's a few hours, it's $600. And I usually end up like doing henna on a ton of hands. But we were, because of the weather, so it used to be a different person who was in the cultural department, or it was a woman, but she has since retired. And so now it's a man who I've only had a little bit of contact with, and he is very like, he's not rude or mean or anything, he's just very terse, and it's a little hard reading him sometimes to see like, oh, is he like upset, or is he just like, he's just serious, or this is just like how he like handles things, because I have only interacted with him a handful of times because he took over the event last year, so I was interacting with both of them, and then this is the first year that I have, or this is the first event with them that I've done where I was just interacting with him. So we went to the event, and he messaged me the day before to let me know it was the weather was not looking good over there, so the event was moved inside. And he's like, let me know if you have any questions. I was like, actually, could you send me some sort of campus map to show me which building the event's going to be in and where I can park, which he did. He like sent the campus map. He said, you're at this number and you can park at this number or this number. You should be able to walk this here. Like, it was very clear, which is something that the previous person did not do. She was just like, oh, we're in this building. And then we'd show up, or like, oh, we're in this courtyard. And I'm like, okay, I'm not a student on this campus. I don't know where that courtyard is. And she's like, oh, well, what building are you at? And I'm like, oh, well, I'm at this building, but I'm on the road driving. Like, yes. And I'm like, where can I park? And she's like, oh, just park anywhere and we'll give you a tag. And then that turned out not to be okay one time. And so we had to like move the car. It was, yes. So he was like very clear. We made sure we parked in the right spot. He, as soon as I got there, gave me the parking pass to sit in my window of my car so that we didn't get a ticket. And he had everything like laid out. He had a table already ready for me that said henna on it. So we, so that was very clear.
Oh, so you didn't have to use your own tables?
No, yeah, I brought all my stuff because I had my little wagon, you know, and so I loaded up my table, my chairs, and everything into the wagon. And we got there, and there was already a table. He had chairs set up for kids to like sit in line because he remembered that I had a line for a while, so he had chairs set up for kids to sit in line and wait.
Okay, you're saying kids, but you mean college students, right? You weren't doing face paint.
No, I was not doing face paint. They are the college children. Yeah, so it was a nice setup. I was a little bit late because of the like rain and traffic and stuff on the way. I ended up being a little bit late, and so I had Wayne, because I didn't have his number or anything, so I had Wayne while we were driving shoot him an email and say, hey, I'm so sorry, we're caught in traffic on the way from North Carolina to Tennessee, because it's an hour drive for us. So I was like, we're in some traffic on the way from North Carolina to Tennessee. It looks like we're going to be such and such amount late. And he's like, he shot an email back that said, okay, the event has already started. Like, that was the whole email. And so I'm like, that could be read as, okay, the event started, so we need to set up, or yes, the event has already started, what are you doing? Exactly. But then I got there and he seemed like pleasant enough. Like I said, he's very terse and it's a little hard to read him. But he seemed pleasant enough. Like, he didn't seem super pissed off at me or anything. And he like came around. One thing that he did that the other lady did not do was, while we were set up, he himself came around and was taking pictures of like when I was doing henna on people and stuff, which the other lady did not. I think she either had a student do it or something. Ma'am. Or I don't remember very many pictures of me being taken at all before when we did the event. So that was interesting. But then we finished the event. We packed up our stuff, loaded it up in the cart, and we were getting ready to go. And he had told me previously that he was going to send me a check. He just needed me to send an invoice with my information so that he could like make the check correctly. And so as we were getting ready to go, went up to him and I was like, hey, sorry again for being late today, but it looked like I still got like a lot of people. And he's like, yeah. And then he said, it was a little loud in the room, but he said, yes, we'll have your check. And that's all that I heard. And last time that I had done this event, the check got mailed to me. And so I'm assuming, the check is going to get mailed to me. He then emails me the next day.
Usually when I do these things and people say, oh, I'm sorry if you can hear my dog in the background, and I never hear it. But this time I definitely heard it.
Do you see the people looking at you?
Definitely heard it.
Anyway, so I packed up because I had another thing that I had to do later that day anyway. So I packed up and we got out of there, drove out of Tennessee, drove home. And then the next day he sent me a message. He sent me an email and he's like, I had your check ready for you, but you were gone by the time I got back. And I was like, oh, because it was not clear to me that that's what he was saying when he said, I'll have your check. Because he didn't say like, I'll bring your check to you in a minute, or like, wait here, I'll bring your check, or I'll be back. So it may have been on my fault. Absolutely not.
So did you just text him and say, I apologize, I misunderstood you?
Yeah, I emailed him back and I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize you had the check ready already. I had another event that I had to get to that evening, so we had to leave. And he's like, okay, we'll mail it to you. And so he just emailed me 2 days ago. I think because I have reminder notifications on for my invoices, just because it took so long for me to get paid from that event previously, that I have just reminders on for the invoices and people will pay me. But one of the invoice reminders went through, and then he sent me an email that was like, your check just got put in the mail today. So that got put in the mail 2 days ago. So we should be getting it in a couple of days.
Well, I mean, it's good that he's prompt.
Yes, he's very prompt, just also very terse, and so I'm not sure, like, because the way that he reacted when I said like, oh, I'm so sorry I was being late. I got in the car after that event and I was like, I was talking to Wayne, I was like, what if he doesn't hire me again? What if they look for another henna artist? Like, what if they don't hire me? Because this is like, it's not my favorite event to do just because of the drive and the hassle that I had previously trying to get paid.
But you keep doing it because of the money.
Exactly. It is a very well-paying event. And it's not like, once I'm actually at the event sitting down, it's not very hard. Because it's just henna, it's not face paint. I'm not having to switch around between a bunch of different mediums. I don't have to worry about someone also there standing and selling other items and stuff. It is just person sits down. I do a design, like it's artist choice too. So it's person sits down. I say, where do you want your tattoo? They say right here. I do a tattoo. I say, okay, the aftercare instructions are right there. Go ahead. Next person sits down. I do a tattoo. Like, it's not hard. It's just, there's a lot of like difficulties surrounding the event.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also like the payment makes up for those difficulties as long as I get my payment. So I was like so afraid. I was like, did he seem upset to you? Because he seemed upset to me. And I'm not sure if I'm reading wrong.
Yeah, it could be that he's just not a what's the word? I don't want to fall into that trap of assigning a diagnosis to somebody like seems to be the trend on TikTok. But I mean, it could just be that he's not a person who's good at dealing with front-facing people like me. I'm not good at dealing with, no, let me not lie, because I can do customer service. I hate it. And the longer I've been away from it, the harder it would be if you told me tomorrow that I had to go back to doing a front-facing job. It would be very difficult for me to do now because I've been away from it for so long.
I'm wondering also if it's a cultural difference because he is, if I'm not mistaken, not East Asian, but like somewhere in that general area.
Okay, so that might
Indian perhaps, or like I don't want to like judge or guess, but he has an accent. And so it seems like he is from another area. So therefore, like there may be a cultural difference that I'm not realizing of like.
Oh yeah. So you didn't say that. That adds a layer.
Yeah. So that I was thinking that and I just forgot to say that out loud. So yeah, it could be a like, we don't need to mince words right now. We're doing business kind of like situation. So I don't know.
And it could be a man thing.
It could be a man thing.
If you're doing business, it's like, okay, we're doing business. Let's get this done. I got a lot of things to do. Let's move on.
Yeah, because he's running basically the entire event, if I'm not mistaken. So I was also like, maybe he is just tired because he's been running around running this event all day. So I don't know. But
and maybe, I mean, considering the issues you had with the last lady, if he shadowed the last lady for a while before she left, and he probably got a little bit of the complaints and the issues that people were having with her, and he's like, oh, we're not gonna have this under my watch. Let me get these people their checks right away.
Yeah, because he was
I'm not dealing with this later.
Yeah, because I remember talking to, I was actually sitting, where is it? Do I have Wayne and I got a caricature made because we were sitting right next to the caricature artist. Oh, and I don't know where I put it now. Oh man, I guess I'll have to show that one next week too. Because Wayne and I got a caricature made because we were sitting next to a caricature artist who is also from Asheville. He also drives from Asheville up to Tennessee to do this event for their culture event or whatever. And I had talked to him at previous events, and he's like, yeah, sometimes it, like previously before the new guy took over, he was like, yeah, sometimes it took me like 2 weeks, 3 weeks to get my payment, and I had to like keep on him and keep like talking to him or whatever. So it wasn't just me that wasn't getting paid on time.
Mm-hmm. But again, the money it must be helpful enough that y'all keep going back.
Exactly. So we had Sunday, we had Wednesday.
And you networked with that other guy on Sunday, the lizard guy.
Yes. Oh, and I have the notes for that event. Yes. That I need to go look up that other event that
And
he was.
follow up. Yeah.
Yeah. So I did some good networking, and then Saturday was Faye Nectar. I wasn't originally, so Saturday was a
This
big,
past Saturday, 2 days
yes,
ago.
past Saturday.
2 days ago.
So
Okay.
2 days ago. What day do you think it is? 4 days ago. So this past Saturday, 4 days ago, was Faye Nectar, and it was their Stormblade event that originally I wasn't meant to be part of because I was on out of rotation for that one because they've got so many vendors, but somebody canceled, and so I got rotated in on that event. And that one I was a little frustrated because it was still a good event. I still made, it was still a decent event. I still made like $200 that day, but compared to the last event that I've done,
do you have to pay for a table at that event?
I do. I pay because I'm a service provider, because I provide henna, face paint, and everything. I pay $25 to be there, so it's not bad. It's not nearly as bad as some of my other markets. Because the Infernal Artistry market that I went to with you, I had to pay $50 to be there. But so Faye Nectar was a gorgeous day. It was not too hot, not too cold. Like, the people just didn't show up. And of the people that were there, like the last event that I did with them, that's the one where I made $1,000. And it was packed. It was packed out the entire time. And people milling around. And it was kind of cold that day too. And people like milling around and like buying and everything. And so this one, there were less people, and the people that were there just seemed like they were not super interested in buying. They just wanted to like looky at like, oh, there's the fights going on, and look at all the stuff that they've got, and like look at the cool stuff. But it did not seem like it was a very like buyers kind of day, if that makes sense.
Well, I mean, could it be that since they just had a big event a few weeks ago, I mean, it seems like Faye Nectar has a niche crowd.
Mm-hmm.
So if some of those same people were just out there 2-3 weeks ago and spent money, then maybe they're like holding off on spending money for a little while.
Yeah, that might be it. I saw like 1 or 2 people that I had definitely seen at the last one, but I also am not very good at remembering faces. So it could have been several of the same people kind of milling around. I don't know. In my head, it's complicated because they are setting themselves up to be a free Renaissance fair, essentially. Like you go, you can see the fights, you can see the little miniature pony that they have running around with a cart, and see all the vendors dressed up as fae and fairies and everything. You don't have to pay to be in there and see these things. Whereas at the like Renaissance fair proper I think it's near Charlotte. It's somewhere north. Yeah, it's like you have to pay to get in, but there's like I don't know, because that Renaissance fair will go on for weeks and weeks, and I feel like people will. I'm trying to figure out how to get my words together. Like that fair will go on for like a few months, and there are some people who will go like every weekend to go and see the things and buy the things and do the things. And so this one that I'm doing with Faye Nectar is only once a month that they have their big events. And so it feels like that is enough time to like, oh, I bought a thing at this one, so let me like take some time and buy a thing at the new one. But I think because people are still learning about it, like I feel like there were a lot of people who were like, oh, I didn't know this is going on, or oh, I just heard about this thing and I'm coming to check it out, and blah, blah, blah. And so they are coming not prepared to buy things, I guess. If that makes sense, they just came to check it out.
Yeah.
There we go. That is my thought process. Anyway, so it was still decent. I made like $200, so it was still good. And I went to the fairy hair lady was there that day, and she had on her table a little like a D20 like rolling thing, and you could roll a D20, and if you got a natural 20, you got free fairy hair. You got 5 free strands of fairy hair. And I went up there and I rolled, and I got a natural 20, and I was like, oh my God.
Yay!
Yes. And so I went back to my table to like manage my table and to tell my roommate that I was going to be away from the table for a little while if anybody asked me, come get me, and I'll we can take a break, and I'll kind of go back and forth. But I did not have very many people getting henna and face paint that day, which good for the fairy hair, bad for the sales. But I got to sit and get my fairy hair done. It's braided up right now, so I've got 2 braids in, but I've got 2 strands on this side and 3 strands on this side. And eventually I will take my hair down and show off my fairy hair. I'll try to take a picture of it.
Yes, I want to see it. Yes. And when we talked about it on Sunday or whatever day it was that we talked about the fairy hair, and I went, or was it Friday we talked about fairy hair?
It was Sunday because we were talking about it at game night.
Okay. I went back and finished watching Farmer Wants a Wife, and yes, that grown-ass woman had fairy hair.
There were a lot of adults in this area, because especially ladies with gray hair getting some silver strands of fairy hair in with their gray hair. It looks very pretty. It doesn't look, because if you're getting rainbow fairy hair, if you're me, a fun adult, you get rainbow fairy hair, it's clearly not natural. It's clearly not, it's very you're out here doing goofy stuff. But which I enjoy, and a lot of people enjoy. But for the older women, they'll get silver, or they'll get a copper color if they've got brown hair that's close. And so it's just a little added reflectiveness that is a little sparkle. And I feel like it looks very it's cute, but in a more sophisticated way, as opposed to me and the children who get the rainbow fairy hair. I think it looks good.
This woman was in her mid to late 30s, and she is an oncology physician's assistant. So she had a grown-up job. And when I went back, at first when I thought, oh, because she had red hair and long red hair, and I saw a little twinkle of something. I'm like, oh, does she have gray hair in with her red hair? Because I thought, because she was an older lady, and I mean younger than me, older than you. But then when I watched later episodes where she was about to go home, and then I saw at least 4 or 5 strands, 2, 3 on this side and 2 or 3 on this side. I'm like, oh no, that's that fairy hair stuff that Maya's talking about.
But did it look bad?
It didn't look bad, but it looked like you're a grown, because especially since when the fairy hair was really obvious and showing, it was right in the middle of a serious conversation about how she has to go back and treat these cancer patients, because she, so she can't stay here and finish this show because she has to go back and treat these cancer patients, and she's being all serious and the face is all sad and stuff, and you got this, it just didn't fit. It just didn't fit.
I think it looks good on anybody. I like it.
I mean, it looks like a fun, youthful, it just looks like a fun thing to do. It just didn't fit with the rest of her personality and stuff. So it was kind of
okay. But yeah, so I got my fairy hair. That market was another market. I wish it had been a bit more profitable, but I think that's the other reason I was a little frustrated. I'm trying to be positive, and I'm also trying to finish this up because we got to move on to talk about other things. But I think the reason that I was more disappointed was because Wayne and I, on the way back from Tennessee, either the way to or the way back from Tennessee, we sat and had a conversation about what I need to be able to make consistently at markets to be able to quit my job at Party City, where I need to be with my markets to be able to quit my job at Party City so that I can solely work the markets, and so that I can have leftover money during the winter months to saved up so that I will be okay, and we can and we'll be able to pay our rent and everything. And that $200 that I made at that market was not at mark, and that coupled with the last time I was at that market I made $1,000 is just it was just two things that made it very frustrating.
Yeah,
but that was that. Go ahead.
So I was just going to mention my couple things, and then you could tell us about the BIPOC market.
Yeah, I had some notes in there, so you go ahead and mention your things, and then we'll rotate.
Because my things are not very big, so I just thought I'd show this is all the progress I've got on the it's curling, so I can't.
Your blanket's got shrinkage. That's not its actual length. Yeah.
But that's all I've got. I'll admit I haven't been working on it very much. I tend to pick it up when excuse me. My goal has been to, when I'm getting the good sunshine like this, work on my coloring books. And then when the sun goes down, I work on this, because I can work on this even if it's dark.
Mm-hmm.
It's not black yarn or anything, and it's not a complicated pattern, so I don't need to really see to do this. So I can do this while I'm watching TV or whatever. But what ends up happening is that I start coloring, and then I get in the groove of the coloring, and then your father comes home from work and the sun goes down, and I'm still coloring. And I'm still coloring. That's what
happens to me when I open TikTok. I open TikTok and then I'm like, oh, well, I got to catch up on the videos that everybody sent me. And then like, oh, well, I need to see all the new stuff that's going on. Maybe save some sounds to make some videos later. And then I'm just scrolling. And then next thing I know, 4 hours is gone.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. But my other thing is my coloring pages, which I just finished saying that I get stuck in on the coloring, so you would think that I have a lot of finished pages, but I don't.
Are you just page to page?
Because, okay, first of all, I went ahead. I'm still in this book. I did a little bit in my book with the beautiful men, is what I call it, but not enough to show. I still have that one page that I'm working on. I switched to a different marker. I have this like gel pen, this black gel pen that I was using for those, the books that your brother got me where it's just the line and you fill in the line and then all of a sudden the picture comes out. I don't have one of those pictures back here, but you know the ones I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And so I bought black pens specifically for that because I heard that gel pens work best on that. And I kind of lost interest in those, but I remembered I had the gel pens and I picked them up and used them for the black in the beautiful men picture. And that's when I realized, oh yes, these tiny fine point pens are exactly what I need for these pictures, because none of the areas in those pictures, unlike, let me pull a picture at random. Like for instance, here's a picture. Mm-hmm. These have big spaces to fill in with your coloring, but the beautiful men pictures don't have big spaces like that. They have little tiny lines,
like little mosaic blocks and stuff.
And so you really need something with a fine point. I was using the brush tips of my Ohuhus, and I felt like I was barely staying in the line to do but with the gel pen it worked. So I spent a good bit of more time than I should have, looking on Amazon and YouTube. I'm not Amazon, YouTube, Amazon and Walmart to see if I wanted to see how much a set of colored pens with those fine points might be. So, and I feel like roughly between $18 and $20 is what I would end up spending. So I'm probably going to buy another set, but not right away because I'm still enamored of this book. For some reason, I'm still stuck on this book.
It's a good one. Of the like pictures that you showed me out of that one, I like that one.
So I invested in some. I spent $1.50
bookmark tabs
and got myself some little tabs, which all they are Post-its cut in 4.
Yep.
So I'm like, why did I spend $1.25 on that? But I did. So I did this picture.
Ooh. Oh, I like that one.
I don't know if you can tell, but let me embiggen myself. I don't know if you can tell, but around the bird, I did bronze.
Oh, I see it now. Yeah. Yeah, I think the angle.
I was going to do all inside the bird. What'd you say?
Oh, I said I think the angle that you have it at is not quite reflecting, and so I couldn't quite see it until you pointed it out.
Yeah. I was going to do like the whole bird, you know, with the feathers and everything. But then when I did just the outside, I feel like I liked that better. So I just did around the outside of the bird. So I don't know why I colored birds, but and then I felt like, okay, I want to do one of those mystery mosaics. So I started on this one. And these are hexagons, and I had fun coloring the hexagons, but then I figured out very quickly it was a giraffe, and I was like, I've already colored a giraffe. I don't want to do another one. So I stopped. And I may go back and finish it, but
right now you don't want to do a giraffe.
And then I was coloring this one while we were doing game night.
Ooh, is that a birdhouse?
This one. Yeah, your sister said it was a birdhouse, which I don't know how she figured that out because I didn't even. This was before there was even the little post here.
Yeah, before the post, I would have said maybe it was a cuckoo clock.
But she figured out right away it was a birdhouse. And I think with this one, because I have a habit of starting with like whatever the top color is listed over here, I start here and go down. And so I ended up coloring all browns again. And I had just done the last page with all browns. And I was like, I am tired of coloring brown. I don't want to color this anymore.
So just skip to another color.
And it's a birdhouse. I'm not interested in birdhouses. So I stopped. Which again, I may go back and finish it. But right now, I was not in the mood. So I stopped again. And then I started this one.
Ooh, another bird.
Yep.
I like this one a lot.
It looks more obviously like a bird when I'm showing it in the camera than when I'm looking at it in person.
Yeah, that's a bird if I ever saw one.
This is circles. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, okay.
This is circles. And I think you can see when I pull it back a little bit, like this is actually two different shades of orange.
Yeah.
In this
can just barely.
So that's why this is not finished. And this is like pink and purple. I don't know if you can see, but this is like different shades here. So it's that's why this is not finished, because it takes longer to fill in these circles than you would think, because it's not just like on some of the other ones I can outline, like on the birdhouse thing or on the giraffe thing, I could outline the whole section. Like I would look and it's like, oh, these are all fours, and I will just outline the whole section of fours, and then I just take
and just fill it in.
Instead of trying to fill in every square, every circle, right? You can't do that with this, because there will be 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 4, 5, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 4.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're not all clumped together. So you have to really pay attention.
Yeah.
And I think, but I mean, I like the result because it feels like you're getting more of a shading.
Yeah, like depth and
because you're mixing the two shades of purple together or the two shades of orange together, so you get more of a shading effect. So I like the way it looks. I think this is the only one in this book that is the circle mosaic. But I like this. I would do more pictures with this kind of mosaic shape, but it is much more time intensive than doing the other ones. So that's all I finished. I mean,
I feel like if you put together all of the work that you did across these like 4 pages into one picture, you would have had a picture done.
Yeah, Yeah, probably. But since I do this just for my personal enjoyment, like I was saying, saying to myself the other day, since I do these for my personal enjoyment, if I'm not enjoying the picture, I'm going to skip to another one because I have other books, and I have other books that I haven't even bought yet that I am anxious to do. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I don't want to waste time on a book that I'm not interested in. I feel like I have one in here that I hadn't shown yet, but I can't, since I probably didn't mark it. But if I find it, I'll just throw it up there. But yeah, you can tell that these are water-based markers because look at the pages.
The page is like warping.
Yep, the pages are all warpy. But okay, so what's the deal with the BIPOC market?
Okay, I'm gonna go over this stuff fairly quickly.
Oh.
So the BIPOC market. Ooh, I like that one.
I do not like this one. I feel like it's too busy.
Yeah,
it's hard to see the birds in between everything
something
else.
About the browns that are in there are a little like it took me a second.
Yeah, and something about all the green in the background is fighting the birds.
Yeah, because I feel like all of those greens either need to be at least a little bit of a darker green so it pulls it back, or a brighter green so it pops out and then the birds will show a bit more. But because it's got a bunch of bright green and a bunch of dark green, then when the birds also have a dark color or a light color, then it doesn't pop.
Exactly. So this was hard to see. Yeah.
Okay, so the BIPOC market. The where they put on the BIPOC market is right beside the Southside Community Farm, because they're the people that put on the BIPOC market. And the Southside Community Farm does a lot of good for that community. Like they have, they help people like learn how to grow their vegetables. They've got spaces for, I think you showed that one not done. We saw that one, but I don't think it was complete last time you showed that one.
Okay.
But they have like farm space that I think people can like come and like use, like people in the community. They have a fresh fruit, fresh veggie like fridge where they will harvest food, and leftovers that they harvest will go into that fridge, and then people in the area can come, and it's like like the free libraries where they like have a little library. It's that but food, so people in the area who normally wouldn't be able to get fresh food because like I think there aren't that many grocery stores too close to that area and stuff like that. So people who normally wouldn't be able to get fresh food can come to that fridge and get not just fresh food, but fresh food for free. And just they do a lot of good for the community. Like I said before, the BIPOC market, they are trying to showcase more BIPOC vendors. So even like they have the BIPOC vendors come in, but we don't pay a fee to be there. They pay us to be there because they want us to show up and they want people to see us. But the people who own the land they've been doing their farming on, so they rent that land. The people that own the land that they're doing their farming on, they are trying to pass some sort of bill or something. I'm not super sure about all the like legalese stuff, but essentially they want to turn that land, instead of having it be farmland, that they have had that as farmland for like 10 years, so like a decade. They are trying to turn it into playgrounds for the area, which playgrounds for children are good, but hungry children don't play on playgrounds.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So they've told us that they're not like moving the location of the BIPOC market or anything yet, but that's not super what I'm concerned about. It's just like that is a very good community resource that the people who own that land are trying to take away, it feels like. It feels like they're not seeing how important it is. But I will post in the I think I have to wait till the episode goes up and then I can go in and edit it. But once the episode goes up, I will put in, there is a link to a petition that you can sign, that people can sign. So anybody in the like Asheville area, or I guess anybody, I don't like, I don't know what the rules on petitions are. Like, people, it is an important thing. So, but there's a link to a petition that you can sign. You can always go to their Instagram to see more things that you can do. And I think they have a link to, like how you write a letter to the people that are in charge of these things. They have like a pre-written letter that you can sign as well. I've already done these two things, and I will put a link in for anyone interested in helping a good community thing. So I felt like I needed to speak on that because it's like I am a part of the BIPOC market, but like the larger part of what they're doing.
Yeah. Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, because I'm not even concerned about like, I would still go to that market even if they weren't like paying us to do that market, because it's a good market, it's a good project, it's a good like idea, but just like it doesn't make sense to me to take away something where people are getting food to put in a playground.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that is a bummer.
Yeah, but they I just saw on Instagram that one of the local news stations is focusing on them, talking about like what their market or what their farm is doing and everything. So hopefully they're getting more traction and more people are seeing it. Let's see. Oh, water bottle update. I just want to update on my water bottle. So I had that crisis of I had a sticker on my water bottle and my water bottle broke, and then Holler and Crow, who did perform this past Saturday, I got to hear them again. And I got to hear them perform their song that they released on Spotify. I got to hear them perform it live, so that's nice. But I've been adding more stickers to my water bottle, and so I just want to update on the stickers I've got on my water bottle because I think they are very cute. So this is, I'm going to embiggen myself. Oh, thank you. So this is my Holler and Crow sticker. And then I've got this cute little like fairy lady sticker. Cute. And then I've got this like witch broom sticker, which is very like, you can kind of see like reflective, like iridescent.
Mm-hmm. How do you clean your water bottle with all these stickers on it?
You can just wash it. They're like, it's plastic on the stickers, so you can just wash it. They're not like paper stickers where it'll peel up. These are plastic. And then I've got this jam jar, which I thought was super cute.
That is cute.
Another like witchy potion bottle-y kind of thing. It's also iridescent.
Cute. And
then Plus Ultra, which is like a pride flag and also a My Hero Academia reference. And then these little mushrooms.
Cute.
So that is my water bottle. I'm going to keep decorating my water bottle, so hopefully I keep carrying it around and drinking more water, which it has helped a little bit. I have been drinking a bit more water.
If I was a person who left my house, like if I was still working in an office and carrying a water bottle, I might be tempted by this trend, because I've seen other girlies do it on TikTok and stuff where they put stickers on their water bottles and stuff. That really wasn't a thing when I was, out and about. But if I was in an office nowadays, I would decorate my water bottle, I think.
Well, it also gives me a reason to use my stickers, because I will get stickers at various like events and situations and stuff, and then I just hold on to them in a pocket, and then that pocket disappears and my sticker disappears, and it's like I never had it. And I'm like, I need to do something with these stickers. I remember back in the 90s, there were people who collected stickers, and really it was like it was almost like stamp collecting. It was like a notebook. The sticker was never even peeled off of its backing. It was stuck in a little pocket in the notebook, and you would just show people all your stickers you collected. Well, that has had a resurgence, and they sell sticker books now that are like, how stickers, under the sticker, there's like the waxy backing so that they don't stick to the sticker back, so you can peel it off. They sell books that the pages are just that waxy backing. So you peel the sticker off its original back, you stick it on that waxy backing, and then if you find somewhere else you want to put your sticker, you can peel it back out of the book and put it somewhere else. But the whole book is that like waxy paper. Yeah, it's super cool. But so that's the BIPOC market. That's my water bottle update. And then, I can't believe I forgot to talk about this earlier. So we went to the BIPOC market. Not BIPOC market. We went to ETSU. I didn't get my check because I didn't realize I needed to stay and get a check. We were driving home, and we were like, let's figure out what we want to eat today. I'm not sure what I want to eat today. Do you want to go to Bojangles? Do you want to do this? Do you want to chugga? And I'm like, what? And I had to pull over to the side of the road because my car was going chugga. And I'm like,
no.
what is going on? Luckily, we had made it. So we live in Asheville. You have to go through Mars Hill to get to Tennessee. So we moved further away from Tennessee, essentially. You have to go through Mars Hill, through Weaverville, through Mars Hill to get to Tennessee. So we had gone all the way to Tennessee and we got back. We made it all the way back to Mars Hill. So we were practically passing the Mars Hill exit when we had to pull our car over. So luckily we were somewhere that we knew, as opposed to who knows in Tennessee. But our car was going crazy and we weren't sure what was going on. So we call a tow truck and we eventually get one and we're like, hey, can you tow us to this mechanic? This is our mechanic that we've been using. And they're like, yeah, it'll cost such and such amount. And then the mechanic gets there and I'm like freaking out. And I call Ari and I'm like, Ari, this is what it sounds like the car is doing. Do you have any idea? And he's like, well, it could be this, it could be that, it could be this. It could be and we're Googling and it's looking like $1,000 to repair and try to figure this out. And then the tow truck guy shows up and he's like, okay, can you just drive it up? It does still drive, right? Can you just drive it up thing? And I'm like, yeah, here, if you the keys, maybe you can figure out what's wrong with it if you drive it a little bit. And he's like, what's wrong with it? And he's like, it's got a flat tire. And then we had never gotten out of the car because we were like, we don't think about car stuff. If we get out of the car, we're just going to look at it and be like, huh? And so we didn't get out of the car. I am standing at my driver's side door. I close my driver's side door. The tire right on my driver's side is flat as hell. Completely flat. That's what had happened. We got a flat tire. But luckily, because once we got the car up on his tow truck thing, he looked at all of our tires and he's like, you're lucky you didn't lose all of them. These are all very bad. And I'm like, oh, we just made a trip. I just got back from a trip to Charlotte. And he's like, on these tires? And I'm like, yes. The ETSU market paid very well. It paid $600 and then we spent $600 replacing all of our tires.
Oh no.
Yeah, but luckily the tow truck guy was nice and he, instead of taking us to the place we originally wanted to go, he took us to a tire shop close to our house. We got the tires replaced, so now we have nice tires, but that whole trip was moot. It took my whole paycheck. It's something that we would have had to do anyway, but I was so frustrated.
Boom, boom.
And also, I felt silly for not getting out of the car to see that we got a flat tire. Because I texted Ari later, and he's like, girl, when you were telling us what was going on, I assumed that you had gotten out of the car. But it didn't make sense to me to get out of the car because I don't know car things. So if I lifted the hood, I would not have understood anything. It looks like
you would have understood a flat tire.
I would have, but I didn't think it was a flat tire. I think that's the first time I've ever gotten a flat tire, like a proper flat tire. That's why I was like, oh, what is this? What's going on? Because I don't think I've ever been in the car where the tire has popped. I've had my muffler fall out on the side of the road.
Did you at least say that to the tow truck guy so he doesn't think you're a crazy person?
Yes, I was like, oh, yeah, I explained basically what I just explained to you. And he's like, yeah, I understand, but we gotta fix these tires. Next time, maybe help out.
Okay, so we've got about 15 minutes. Do we want to talk about anything? Media consumption.
It is. Do you? Because I know you were catching up on 911 Lone Star. Did you completely catch up?
I did.
Do you? I don't know that 15 minutes is enough time for us to talk about that because I know that I like to go on long rants and that could take a long time.
Yeah, I don't think it's enough time, and I will burst if I cannot talk to you about what I've been watching over the week.
Okay, what have you? Oh yeah, because you said you were watching some trashy stuff. What have you been watching?
Even though it's, I know I'm kind of building it up, but it's like every time I watch one of these, I'm like, oh my goodness. Okay, so for some reason, TikTok has decided to, for some reason, I'm going to try to see if I can say this quickly because I know we only got 15 minutes. Okay, my TikTok routine is I look at all my following people And then I go, you know how TikTok is, I think of TikTok as being like two halves. So like, and you have like following up here and you have FYP over here. I always click on following first and look at all my following people. And then I click on FYP and then I look at all of my, the FYP, the people that TikTok thinks I should look at. Right. But for some reason, for several weeks, everything on my on TikTok has been TikTok Shop.
Yes.
And all of my people that I normally follow, for some reason, it was like everybody was on vacation because I was not getting anybody's videos. And it didn't occur to me at first, but it's like everybody was being crowded out by TikTok Shop. And I thought, well, maybe these people just haven't been on TikTok in a while. Why am I not seeing any of my people? And then for some reason, about a week ago, all of a sudden, all the people that I normally follow started flooding back in on my following. And I'm not getting any of not that I'm not getting any, but the amount of TikTok Shop that I'm getting is cutting.
It's a lot less. Yeah.
And the only thing I can think of is that one of these videos had told me, do this thing and this thing and this thing, and it'll get rid of TikTok Shop. And I did it. TikTok Shop didn't go away, but then maybe it had a delayed reaction or kicked in or something, because now all of a sudden I'm getting a lot less TikTok Shop.
You need to tell me these things that I need to do, because it's like every third video.
Yeah, I know, it's ridiculous. But so anyway, but one thing that I also started getting, in addition to my people coming back, is there are these drama channels that I had never heard of that apparently are a big thing in Asia, and they're trying to get them to be a thing over here, but they're very popular over in Asia. And I put some names of them because in the Google Keep, Real Short was the first one that I got. And then Drama Box and Short TV. Those are the three that I seem to get. But Real Short, the first, like a week ago, I started getting videos from Real Short. And they were all for this same, at first I didn't know what it was, but it was like this story that they're showing. And I would like get a video and I'd watch it and I was like, okay, that's interesting. And I've gotten videos before from like apps that have like audiobooks on them and stuff, and they'll give you a little snippet of the audiobook and it's like, go here to get more. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And I just, flick past them because I already have my Kindle and my things that I use for reading.
Yeah.
But this wasn't just like audiobook or like text on screen. This was like actual acting. And I'm like, this is so bad, but I'm interested. But it's bad, but I'm interested.
Give me some plot lines. What's going on?
But the thing is, it would like show me one, and then it'll show me a few of my people, and then it'll show me another episode from the same story. Like and then so I get a little bit more of the story, and then I'll see some more of my people, and then another episode from this Real Short comes up, and I'm like, okay, I gotta go find what this story is. You cooked me now. I gotta go. It's bad, but I gotta go find.
You gotta see how bad. You gotta see what happens.
And then I find the app, and the first few episodes that they showed on TikTok were the first few episodes on the app. It's like, okay, I've already seen these. Go. And then I finally get to some episodes I hadn't seen. And then you hit about episode 15, and then they start wanting some money. And it's not cheap.
How much?
Cheap. It's like you know how I don't think you're familiar with these apps, so I'm not even going to go there. But it's basically, there's some of these story apps where you can do a little bit of the story, like chapters or episodes, are the names of some of the apps, and you have to pay like 2 of their in-game monies, and to get the next episode. it's monies or keys or whatever they call it on the app. This one is coins, and it's like 5 coins per episode. The episodes are only like a minute and 30 seconds long.
5 coins for a minute and 30 seconds? How much is a coin in real dollars?
And that's what I'm about to pull up. All I remembered was, I'm not spending that kind of money, is what I remember. And this, like, for a full story, it's like 78 episodes. Okay.
That's a lot of coins.
And I'm trying to, where's the thing where they tell me how much these coins are? And I'm not rating you. I just want to know how much. Where's the one? And they have names like The Double Life of My Billionaire Husband. That's the one that caught me. That's the one that caught me at first. The Double Life of My Billionaire Husband. Where is the... tell me how much it is.
Are you in your settings? Subscriptions?
They don't make it easy to figure it out. But I'm leaving it there so it can finish playing. But so it's like The Double Life of My The Double Life of My Billionaire Husband. It opens up with this girl talking to her father saying, "Can you please pay my mother's hospital bills?" And the father's wife comes in and says, that's his ex-wife. Why should he pay for the bills? And then the stepsister comes in and is like, well, we'll pay your bills if you'll go marry thus and so.
Why? Why does that matter?
And she's like, why? So, well, I'm supposed to marry him, but if you marry him, we'll give you the money. And there's no explanation why these two need to get married to each other. Okay, none whatsoever. And she's like, okay, if you're going to give me the money for the bill, I will go ahead and marry him. Cut to thus and so is in jail, and he's about to get out of jail. Apparently, he's just been in jail for the night because he did some drunk driving or something. They don't explain it, but it wasn't a long prison sentence. It was just jail. He gets out. His assistant or whatever is there because apparently he's rich. They go to get next thing. This is all like in the first minute 30 seconds.
Wild.
The wedding. They're there at the wedding. They get married. They have a little bit of cute banter together. They get married. The guy who's playing the husband, by the way, not a very good actor. The girl who's playing the wife is a good actress. Hope she gets a job. But I don't think they're going to see her on this. But they get married. Turns out, okay, here we go. Okay, so if I pay $20 for a week, then I can watch as much as I want to. For $20
a week?
$20 for a week. The weekly subscription is $20, $19.99.
Wild.
Okay, let's see.
They're trying to get $80 a month out of you.
Exactly.
That is wild for that bad acting.
Let's see. Coin balance. Let's see. First time refill. 2,500 coins is $25.
25 divided by 2,500.
2,500 coins is $25.
So each coin is 1 cent, essentially. So each episode you watch is a nickel.
So, and there's
I don't know if that makes you more likely to do it or less likely.
There's 75 episodes. Do math for me. There's 75 episodes in the average show. Okay. They're 5
First
cents.
15 are free, right?
They're 5 coins each.
You said the first 15 are like free though, right? You don't have to pay for those?
Yes, the first 15 are free.
Okay, so 75 minus 15, so that's 60 episodes times 5 cents each. That is $3. Oh my goodness, you can watch an entire series for $3 and they're trying to get $20 a week out of you to watch as much as you want?
Yes.
Wild.
So it's not as bad as I thought. I saw the $20 a week and I saw the $25 for 2,500 coins. I'm like, my brain could not do the math, and it's like, oh, I'm not giving you this much money.
Oh, my brain couldn't either.
Right.
I used calculator. Yeah, it's if you just want to watch one series, it's not that bad. If you just want to watch one series or two series, even that's $6. But if you are like, if this is all that you watch, if this is your TV and this is all that you watch, cancel your Netflix, cancel your Hulu, cancel your Crunchyroll, cancel your Spotify.
What I did was I immediately found somebody who bootlegged the whole thing into one video and watched it. And so, and I'm not even gonna worry about spoiler alert on this thing because this is nobody's
tell me what happened.
Nobody's gonna watch this. But the thing with these things is that they don't give you any background or explanation up front. Sometimes they give it to you later, but sometimes they don't. Okay, so this first one that I watched on Real Short is the American one. All right, and so basically, the poor girl, the father divorced her mother. The mother is sick, so there's all these medical bills. The girl has not been able to get a good job because she's been taking care of her mother. So you have to figure this out as you're watching, by the way. They don't explain
Connect
it
the dots.
You got to connect the dots. They don't explain it to you. They, like I said, all of that stuff that I explained to you already was in 1 minute and 30 seconds. So they just boom, 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 hit you with the highlights, and they don't give you the background. They don't give you the background at all. So every episode is like, they did what? What? They did what? But the acting is bad. The clothes are bad, except on the Asian ones. Because I watched an Asian one all the way through. Also, on the Asian ones, the girl who is the heroine, who you're rooting for, her clothes are snatched. She's perfect, beautiful, wonderful. The girl who is the rival, she is wearing some saggy polyester bargain basement. It's supposed to look like it's elegant.
Doing her dirty.
It's supposed to look like it's elegant, but it's not fitting her. So it's like we put all the budget on the heroine and
bring your own stylist.
And you're supposed to be cute, but your clothes don't fit. You're wearing whatever the girl from the last show got wore. Because they churn these out because I went back and I read some articles about how this is done, and they churn these out like nobody's business. They're meant to be watched on mobile. That's why they're only a minute and whatever. Even if you try to find it on YouTube or something like that, it's still going to be like the vertical with the letterboxing on the side. You might as well watch it on your phone.
Yeah.
Because it's not getting any bigger or getting any better. But so Double Life of My Billionaire Husband. So mother's sick. She agrees to marry the guy. He thinks that he was marrying somebody. Then he comes to the wedding and says, I thought I was marrying ABC and you're XYZ. And she's like, yeah, whatever. Let's do this thing. And she turns out to be nice. She doesn't know that he's rich, right? Not only is he rich, but he's got a different name, and he's a little bit in the mafia. Ooh. These are the connecting elements in all of these stories because after I watched this one, 2 days later, Short TV started serving me some episodes on TikTok. Like, oh, I see you've been watching Real TV. Come over here and watch our stuff. And so then I watched one of theirs that was crazy. I'm talking slapping people. The Asian ones, they will not hesitate to, I don't like what you said, I will slap you across your face.
You gotta tell me this. I love seeing someone get slapped on a drama.
They're slapping, and I mean, and it's like overly you really have to put the pieces together on these because they're like subtitles, but the subtitles are not good. So it's like you have
it's
to
like our old days of watching stuff on, what was it, Drama Fever?
So you have to kind of figure out, but there's always somebody who's secretly rich, but everybody thinks they're a poor. This is what they called them in the subtitles of the Asian one, a poor. Oh, you are just a poor. So
poor.
So that you think you don't realize that the girl is rich. Or the guy in the American ones is the guy who's always rich. In the Asian ones is the girl who's always rich. And it's always in the Asian ones, there's always some other girl who like you are with your man, but all of a sudden he decides to go be with this other girl. And so he's like, you need to give me a divorce. And so then you go into the whole revenge thing and try to make his life miserable. But every time you show up in things, everybody's like, what are you doing at the fashion show? You're just the poor. You were not invited to be here. I work for Mr. Thus and so I'm allowed to be here. And you don't realize that she runs the corporation that invited you. You know, and it's one of those kind of things. And there's always the husband's mother, so her mother-in-law, who are like, ugh, I don't know why he married you to begin with. I never wanted him to marry you. I want him to marry this one over here because she's rich and she will make an alliance with our company. I don't know why she married you. Why he married you is always. But
I gotta go look it up.
The double life one, I can probably send to you.
Okay.
Because I found a bootleg of it. I can probably send it to you.
You said that's the American one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But there's always, and there's like, you start working for the guy and you don't realize that he's your husband because y'all got married, but it was like married in absentia or something. So it was just signing contract. There's a lot of people marrying each other for some sort of convenience reason that's never explained. And so you don't even know who your husband is. And then you go work for him and you're his personal assistant, but he's also your husband, but you don't know he's your husband. And meanwhile, he thinks this other girl is you. And so when he sees the other girl with her husband, he's like, oh, so my wife is cheating on me now.
That's like all of these problems could be solved with just like a single conversation.
Exactly. Like, if, for instance, how about meet the woman you're going to marry?
Right. If like you sign your papers, like just see your face to face at least once.
If you're going to marry for convenience, at least see each other first.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then the last episode is always them living in domestic bliss. Oh, wonderful. It's like
solved all of our problems in a minute, 30 seconds.
It's like, I don't know why I'm stuck watching these things because the acting is bad, the scenery is bad. Let me rephrase that. The acting is not bad because I've watched 3 of them so far from beginning to end from 3 different services. And the acting's not bad on everybody. A lot of times the women are good actors, the men not so much. I hope a lot of these people get some jobs somewhere, but they're not going to be seen on this. That's all I can tell you. The writing is bad though. So even though their acting is good,
it's not bad. They're working with bad material. A lot of times the clothes are bad. The scenery is bad. You know, you can tell that they all shot this in somebody's, apartment or something. It's just like, but it just gets me hooked in because it's they distill it down to the dramatic point of I stayed with you for 3 years and now you're gonna throw me aside. It's just down to the drama stuff, and then skipping all the filler stuff.
Skipping all the filler stuff. because the storylines are so. What if you read a lot of romance novels? You have seen all these storylines before anyway, so you can kind of fill in your head. Oh, they got married because of his reputation, or to get the inheritance, or whatever. Blah blah blah. Doesn't matter why they got married. They're married now. Let's move on to the rest of the story. And so, I guess I'll be watching another one.
I'm gonna at least check out the one that you send me when you send it to me.
Just crazy, I tell you, crazy.
Wild.
Crazy.
Well, we gotta wrap this up. How do I do this again?
You don't know?
Music. Get rid of there we go. Thank you, everybody, for coming to the Wednesday Coffee Klatsch. I almost say Friday Coffee Klatsch every single week. We did it on Friday for far too long.
Fridays. Mm-hmm.
We did it on Friday for far too long, and now Wednesday doesn't feel right. But thank you for coming to the Wednesday Coffee Klatsch. I have been Artemis. This has been
Dani.
And this is what we do every week. Well, mostly every week. As you saw, we didn't do it last week, but pretty much every week. If you enjoy listening to us, if you want to hear us next week talk about 911 Lone Star, the second half, tune in, subscribe on YouTube. If you're on Instagram, I don't know how much of this Instagram is going to pick up, but if you're on Instagram, you can flip over to the YouTube to watch the VODs. Subscribe, hit the notification bell if you want to be alerted whenever we're going live, so you make sure you don't miss it. Give it a like if you enjoyed hearing us talk today and say the things and show the things.
If you want to catch some gaming goodness, we are here on Friday mornings, usually playing some sort of word game or logic puzzle or dating sim. Those seem to be the ones. Those seem to be the ones that work best on our ancient machinery.
Yeah, because we need new machines. If you want to give us new machines, if you want to give us money,
don't say that.
We'll figure it out. Why? Sometimes people just like to give money to things that they like.
No.
Anyway, this has been the Wednesday Coffee Klatsch. This has been the artist formerly known as the Friday Coffee Klatsch, and we'll see y'all later. Bye.
Peace.